Elma Vira Dahliani, NIM 2318-021. I'm an English student in IAIN Bukit Tinggi in PBI-A class, and this is for my final exam of speaking for professional context. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wa bihi nasta'in wa ala umuri dunya wa din wassalatu wassalamu ala asrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa salam ajma'in amma ba'du. As an English student and who wants to be a teacher in the future, in this section I will explain two topics. First topic is why I choose a teacher as my career in the future, and the second one is I will explain you 5 things how to be a teacher, how to be a good teacher in the future. First topic is why I choose teacher as my future career. I think my biggest motivation to become as a teacher in the future, decide that I want to advance nation generation. I think to become a teacher is a very noble work. What would we do without a teacher who always guides, teaches his students patiently and well to be successful in the future? It is not easy to become a teacher, let alone to competent and responsible teacher. A lot of time and sacrifice is meant to become a teacher, and now I am the college stage with a faculty of tarbiyah and teacher training, and inshallah in a few years I will become a teacher where I have to pay attention, teach, guide, and set an example for my student later. And I always remember one quote that said, teachers are figures of heroes without surface signs. And next, in the second topic, I will explain 5 things how to be a teacher in the future. First is the teacher that have a great interest to subject they teach. This means that the teachers are supposed to love their subject so that they can teach with spirit in their hearts. Students may love their teachers if the teacher loves his or her own subject. And the second is the teacher that have patience, familiarity, and sensitivity which are needed to foster the spirit of learning. What do you think about the patience? What do you think about familiarity? And what do you think about sensitivity? I think patience is a condition where teachers must control their emotion if there's a problem with students. And familiarity is a condition where teachers must be very close to the student. This will make the student feel uncomfortable around their teacher. And about the sensitivity is a condition where teachers must connect their minds with the students minds to understand their feelings. The third is the student that have imaginative and practical thinking to give explanation to their students. Without this, your student will be boring in no time to what you are talking about in class. Imaginative thinking is a process to create different situations or different circumstances to make learning processes more interesting. Example, I think debate, dialogue, and discussions is better. While practical thinking is a process to make a decision in class. Example, if your method of teaching doesn't work, then use another method. If the new method doesn't work too, then use another one. If all methods don't work, then revise your strategy to face the student. That's why it is important for a teacher to have a practical thinking. It helps them to make decisions as quick as possible. And what is the fourth thing? The fourth thing is the teacher that have an open attitude and an open mind. An open attitude means that a teacher must open himself or herself. Example, if your student don't understand to the subject, you are to the subject you are teaching, then explain it again to them slowly and gladly until they understand. Or if they have a problem in their home or in school, give them some advices. They will think that you are a nice person and they may like you. An open mind means that a teacher must have a great response to any situation in class. Example, if some of students have a different opinion with you, don't blame them, but hear their opinions. Teaching is not always about giving explanation, but it's also about discussion with your students. And the last thing that you should know is the teacher that have a good communication with the students. As I said before, teaching is not always giving explanations. It's also about discussions. Don't always be a speaker. Try to involve your student in the learning process. For example, by asking them simple questions. Just try to make them speak. So it will not be one-way learning, but it will be two-way learning between the teacher and the students. I think that's all for my explanation today, and I will conclude my explanation is first why I choose a teacher as my future career in the future is because I think as a teacher it's not easy, right? There are obstacles you should know and high responsibility. And I think it's good and I like to try it. And then how to be a teacher in the future. And there are 5 things. First is the teacher that have a great interest to the subject they teach. And the second, the teacher that have a passion, familiarity, and sensitivity which are needed to foster the spirit of learning. And the third is the teacher that have imaginative and practical thinking to give explanation their students. And the fourth is the teacher that have an open attitude and an open mind. And the last is the teacher they have a good communication with the students. I think that's all for my explanation. If I have a mistake, please apologize me. Assalamualaikum.